Hello, my beautiful angels. It is Olivia Grace, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And today I have a client success story. I'm super excited about this story because this is actually my first client. I won't say ever because there was a period before I started coaching again during the pandemic that I was coaching before. And so I had clients before, but when I restarted my business though, this was my first ever client and probably the client that I've worked with the longest as well. We worked with each other for a little over a year consistently. But yeah, before I get into that though, I do have coaching available. I do have guided sat scenes, guided revision scenes, and custom affirmations. All those links are in the description. It may say that there's email coaching, but I'm not really doing that. So I need to delete it. But anyways, and I'm kind of like on a time crunch trying to make this video. So, yeah, let me get into it. Before I actually get into the story, I want to just tell you guys quickly, like how I reconnected with my client because I hadn't spoke to her in like a year. So, and this, like, I had this idea in my head that she was mad at me. That's like a story that I had that people are mad at me or that I had done something wrong or like whatever. And so I hadn't heard from her. And this one day when I was driving to Florida, actually, I just had this overwhelming feeling. Like I kept seeing her pop up on social media and I wanted to reach out to her, but I had it in my head that she was mad at me because I had reached out to her multiple times. She hadn't responded. Y'all, my hair looks so crazy like right now. Like just ignore it. Like there's like nothing I can do. So it's gonna look like this right now. But anyway, so I like had this feeling though. I was driving and I was like, I had this overwhelming urge to talk to her, you guys. And the thing about her is she's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person inside and out. Her soul is just radiant and magnificent. She's like, I knew her obviously before we started coaching together. And she's just always been such a beautiful person. So I wasn't like, I'm not really a type of person that wants to chase people. Like if you want to be in my life, great. But if you're going to not be in my life, then I'm kind of like, okay, you know, but for her, I could not just let that fly. I could not just be like, whatever. And so my intention, because like I said, I had been reaching out to her and she wasn't responding. So my intention was just to reach out to her and just let her know that I loved her, that I missed her, and that I hoped that she was doing well. And so, but I'm literally driving to Florida. So I was going to text her. Like the urge was so strong. I was going to text her while I was driving. And I was like, no, let me be safe. Let me just call her. And I call her and she answers and she's like, oh my God, like I have to tell you what's going on. Like I'm at work right now, but let me call you back. So she calls me back, you guys. And when we were working together, she obviously had a very clear vision of how she wanted her future to be. There was a specific person that she wanted to be with and someone that she had known for so long. They were friends. And at this time she's living in Vegas. The guy is living in Atlanta. And so basically, like, long story short, because like I said, I'm on a time crunch, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But long story short, he was not showing up at all the way that she wanted him to show up. And, but she had this vision of them specifically being together, having this humongous house, having kids, you know, just living this like lavish, beautiful, amazing life together. And she was very clear and specific on this guy and having millions of dollars, right? So fast forward a bit, she ends up just kind of cutting this guy off because he's not showing up the way that she wanted him to show up. And this is like, at the time that I was coaching her, I wasn't even teaching the law of assumption when we were coaching together. This was just like, I was just teaching her law of attraction stuff, manifestation, things that I'd known. So I didn't like, neither of us knew anything about SP stuff, but he was her SP. So then, but she cuts him off because she starts to basically get into herself, right? She starts to get into her own self, into her confidence. And listen, just side note, I'm not telling anybody that you have to cut your SP off or that you have to do this. I'm just telling the story that happened. Okay. She cut him off. She was like tired of accepting less for herself. Basically, she knew what she deserved and he wasn't showing up that way. So, you know, that was that. So, and this is around the time when she cut him off. It was around the time that her and I stopped speaking as well. So when she calls me, she tells me that this guy had a near-death experience, y'all. How dramatic, right? He had a stroke while he was driving, had a near-death experience. And when he basically came to and you know, came, because I believe he was, I don't want to say he was in a coma. I don't know, but he was obviously injured terribly and had a near-death experience. And when he comes to, he realizes that this is the love of his life, you guys. I know this sounds like a movie. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. He realizes that she is the love of his life and that he wants to be with her and has to be with her, like needs to be with her, literally, right? So they reach out, like he reaches out to her and like all of this stuff happens. They end up being in a relationship or whatever. The relationship is going wonderful. And so then he basically tells her, you know, like, cause they're doing a long distance relationship because she's in Vegas, he's in Atlanta. And so he tells her, you know, well, I want you to move to Atlanta, you know, so we can be together. And she's like, well, I'm not moving to Atlanta as your girlfriend, you know, like you need to basically put a ring on it. And he's like, go ahead and let them know you're not renewing your lease. Go ahead and let your job know. Go ahead and let everybody know, because if that's what needs to happen, that's what's going to happen. And so there's a pending engagement, obviously. And the money part is that this guy, he's always been like financially, you know, successful, but he is to the point where he says that his investments are going to have them both retired as millionaires within the next couple of years. And so he told her that basically he just wants to take care of her. Like he wants to set her up financially. He said that even if she moves and she doesn't, you know, they don't work out or they break up or whatever happens, he still wants to make sure that she's set up financially for her life and wants to basically like get her savings together, get her credit together, just get her set for life. Okay. So obviously, and he's ready to have kids. She's ready to have kids. So all of this, literally, you guys, her dream life is like unfolding, or it unfolded. It's currently still unfolding, and you guys, literally, like I was on the phone and I was literally crying. It's not hard to make me cry. I cry. Some of you guys' comments sometimes because they just touch my heart so much. But just hearing my client, it's really crazy from a coach's perspective to hear your client speak specific things into their life and then see those things unfold and literally get exactly what they want. Exactly. It's such a beautiful thing. And it just made me so freaking happy for her and so proud of her. And she was just grateful to me and just told me, you know, what you're doing works. What you're teaching works. This stuff works, you guys. I will say that she was listening to affirmation tracks in those times where we weren't coaching together. She was listening to affirmation tracks but she wasn't really doing too much intentionally to manifest this thing to happen, other than the intentions that we kind of set together during our coaching. She was just kind of living her life, but in her mind, knowing what it was going to be for her. Okay. So I intend that encourages you guys that yes, you can have it all, you guys. Yes, you can have it all. If it's been taking a while and you're discouraged or you're annoyed or whatever, this happened. Like I said, me and this girl started coaching in 2020. You know, it's now 2023. And I'm not saying this to say that it has to take long. All I'm saying is to stay encouraged no matter where you are at on your path. This stuff is real. It actually works. You will have the life of your dreams. You already do. Okay. And then she manifested this without even using the law of assumption, you guys. This was law of attraction. Okay. Everybody talks so much shit about the law of attraction that it doesn't work and this and this and that, but it does work. In my opinion, the law of assumption is just a quicker and more detailed way of using manifestation. But I'm going to actually make a video comparing the two of, really specifically comparing Abraham Hicks' teachings to Neville Goddard. But anyways, I need to go. I love you guys. I wanted to come on and tell you guys that just to encourage you and uplift you. I love you guys so much. You can have everything, anything you already do. I love you.